A very good morning, guys. Hope you are all having a wonderful day and welcome to this new London session market outlook. Starting off here with Aussie dollar, we can see that we have some potential shorts in hand and that there were some beautiful opportunities yesterday. But before we dive in towards Aussie dollar, let's analyze the dollar index first. So as of yesterday, the dollar index has been pushing up back in towards the highs we're tracing after breaking the low which we marked out in yesterday's session. As we can see, what we currently expect is the market to potentially rebound slightly higher. If we look at this entire buy before the sell range, we can currently see that we are tapping in and we are moving back out, but preferably you want to kind of move in towards this last refined point of interest over here. Let's say we do start rebounding in towards the downside, of course, then what we are going to be looking for is this potential channel pattern over here with a 1, a 2, and then of course a third touch over here within this demand zone. If it does fall lower, then I'll be looking, of course, to long from this lowest area of demand to then trade the dollar index back up higher, but definitely expecting higher prices from the dollar index in the very near future. But preferably for now just slightly more short-term downside before moving up higher again. But of course, if we do move up in towards this refined point of interest and we see it get broken and ultimately we spike above this high, then of course I'll be looking to trade the flip and trade this higher up in towards 107 approximately. So that's it for the dollar index. You're nearing this area of supply, so just keep an eye out for that. Now moving in towards euro dollar. Euro dollar is of course pulling back. I'm waiting for euro dollar to hit this area of demand. As you can see, of course, yesterday we broke above this area of supply, meaning that this demand zone was now in control, or this lower demand zone was in control. As you can see, we pushed out of it due to the fact that supply failed, so therefore it was logic that the market moved up higher. Overall 4-hour swing structure is also still bullish from this low in towards this high. We're inside pretty much the 786 fib over here, so hence the market moving up in line with the overall order flow. Now what we want to see is of course one more pullback before moving up higher in towards this overall sell before the buy, and then trading euro dollar up higher in towards this extreme POI in line with the overall market structure here for euro dollar. So dependent on how the 15-minute now comes in towards here, because look guys, overall from a 15-minute perspective, of course we moved yesterday in towards this extreme area of demand, so beautiful longs over here as well with the Asian low going, as we can see over here. Now for today, what are we looking for? Overall we saw a shift in swing structure as of yesterday, because over here we had this high go by a break of structure over here, meaning that currently our swing low is positioned over here and our swing high is positioned over here. So currently we're seeing bullish swing market structure in line with the overall 4-hour swing structure. And the pullback, ultimately where you want to see the pullback towards, is of course discount pricing. If we just draw on a fib, then ultimately what you'll see is that, and we can of course also include the 50% mark that would be located over here approximately, is that we have some areas of fresh demand which we would like to target and like to go long from. For example, this massive sell before the buy. If the price were to retrace further in towards that 618, and this also lies of course within this overall 4-hour area of demand, then that would be favorable for looking for longs from there. So if euro dollar does push further down, then we look for a potential long from there, but of course that then depends on how the 15-minute comes in, because the internal structure would need to align with our bias. And what do I mean by that? Well, for example, you see the push up, the push down, the push up, the push down, the push up. Now this low needs to go because this is your internal break of structure low. Then for example, we get that downtrend in towards here, then look for that reaction out of it, break of the internal structure, pull back in towards demand, and then look for longs in line with the overall 50-minute swing structure, in line with the overall 15-minute internal structure, and that would also be in line with the overall 4-hour structure. So that is euro dollar. Moving in towards Aussie dollar, because of course that's what I just marked out for you guys. So looking at Aussie dollar, yesterday we saw a beautiful push in towards this refined area of supply, which of course took the liquidity from this high over here. Our second area of supply which we have is of course this refined area over here at the top, but as you guys know, we can draw it from the wick to the wick, this entire buy before the sell, and then of course we've already tapped into that multiple times. So then what is the fresh area of supply that we have? Well, that's this area over here. So this sell candle, this doji candle over here, this imbalance candle, which lies at the top of this buy before the sell-off, which broke all the lows over here. And as we can currently see, that is now the supply zone which is holding up and pushing price in towards the downside. So the only thing I do not really like about this push in towards the downside is the fact that we do not yet have a change of character. So for that change of character to happen, we need this low over here to break. Then it would be far higher probability that Aussie dollar is ready to sell off in towards the downside. So I would love to see some more momentum here on Aussie dollar before retracing back up in towards what people would call supply over here. But for me, this isn't supply due to the fact that it has not achieved anything. This would be supply if it would break this low over here and create a bearish, what we call fractal structure. Then you could look for the pullback to short in towards the downside once again. So let's see if we can get some more bearish momentum over here on Aussie dollar. Moving in towards the 15, I mean, ultimately, yeah, it's also not very favorable. I would say it's looking slightly on the messy side of things, but over here at the top, we did kind of see this internal break of structure after pullback, push up, and then what happened? We broke the low over here. So the internal structure is aligning, but if you want higher probability shorts, and you could of course look for a short from here if we pull back, but if you want the even higher probability shorts, then just wait for this low to go and then the pullback, because then you'll know that this supply over here at the top is even more significant and has a higher probability of playing out for you guys. So that's Aussie dollar, interesting pair at the moment. Then pound dollar, so GBPUSD, you pushed up higher in towards our area of supply, of course. What's very interesting, and we'll see on the 1 hour time frame, is pretty much the ascending corrective structure which we have. So we have this 1, and then we have a 2, and then we have a 3, sell off in towards the downside from this area of supply over here. Overall, do we like this pair? Not really. It's pretty rangy. Overall, if we look at it from the 4 hour perspective, internally it does still look bearish. You guys know I was looking for this high to go before looking for longs, so I kind of remain by that until we break that high. I do not feel confident with taking any longs at all. If we can break that high, then I would be happy to look for further upside, but until then, I'm expecting for the downside until that high goes, because especially if this pattern over here plays out with the 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to draw it on for you guys, so I hope you guys can kind of like see what I'm referring to. We have this ascending channel structure or ascending wedge structure, whatever you want to call it, where we have a 1, 2, and third touch sell off. So now what needs to happen is that momentum needs to hold, and we need to see this low go, and then I'll be very happy to look for further shorts upon a retracement. So pound dollar, that's kind of like the setup that I'm getting involved in. If we break this high though, then of course I'll be looking to get involved with a long, because then the overall structure is aligning with what I want to see. So you guys know when I'm looking for shorts and when I'm looking for longs. For now it's just stuck inside a range, yeah, over here. So not trading it. Moving on in towards Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar 4 hour, very interesting. As we can clearly see, of course, we took liquidity above this high, which I mentioned yesterday. Just missed out on that area of supply, but of course you can take the entire buy before the sell. Now you'll see that we're already in it. Again, problem with NZDUSD is the same as on Aussie dollar, guys. No change in the fractal structure, no change of character. For the change of character to happen, we need this low to go. So that's kind of unfavorable. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm ultimately waiting for, guys. Or what could happen is, of course, one more push higher in towards there now, and then this would become your fractal low. Then look for the short in towards the downside. And that would be what I'm going to be looking for. So yeah, guys, ultimately that's what I'll be looking for on NZDUSD. Moving in to gold, last of all. So gold, yeah, I mean, has been retracing towards the downside, of course. Very slow day yesterday for gold. Still waiting for this area of demand to get hit. If we get in there and we see some nice 15-minute structure, then I will definitely be looking for a potential long. So that's pretty much that. I mean, let's see if we can kind of get some nice structure to form and then look for that long upon a change in the trend on the 15-minute time frame internally. So that's that, guys, for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day. If you have any questions, make sure to join the free Discord, link in the description down below, and we will speak very, very soon. Thanks, guys.